All right, cool. All right, so we finally got playoffs. Week 19 of football, basically. The season's gone by fast. I mean, lots of ups and downs, a lot of stuff we said that would happen, and then lots of stuff we said that wouldn't happen, and that's just how it goes. But this week 18 was crazy. A lot of division clinching. Even people still doing their fantasy championships. All the BS. So I mean, I got to give it up to CJ Stroud, man, to start this off, man. That man missed how many games? Like three, right? Like,
Yeah, three,
like
four.
three, four, something like that. And they struggled. You could tell Case Keenum was not it. And this man came in and won the damn division his rookie year with the team they said that would go like 3-13 again. And that's pretty impressive by him and D'Amico. So,
Yeah, he proved that 1 year head coach can actually get it done. Like a lot
hmm
of people don't have no excuses now because he did it.
hmm I mean, but if you look at the coaches, I mean, you said even the Colts. I mean, the Colts win that game. They're in the playoffs with the first year head coach too. Um,
Yeah,
the freaking um the Cardinals coach. Sorry, I was trying to think of what team. He's a good coach too. I mean, they had Kyler gone all year, and but it's funny if you look at because the Cardinals won how many games? They won five, I think, or three,
yeah.
something
With
like that.
Kyler, they were like 2, 3 Kyler. Yeah,
But I was talking about it with one of my friends the other day. If you notice, all their wins were from playoff teams from this year. That's pretty. I mean, it kind of sucks because they lost all the other games. But I was looking at like their box scores and all like their schedule. All their games were like 7 points, 8 points, nine. Like they weren't getting blown out. They just didn't have the talent.
yeah. They're competing really hard. They trade all their talent though. They trade like
Mm,
half their defense, get away hurt, stuff like that. I mean, they wanted to be bad this year, and obviously because
yeah.
Kyler's gonna be out, it was a smart play by them.
Mm,
But yeah, they're gonna be fine. It's not. I'm
yeah.
not worried about them.
They're probably gonna. I mean, I could see them drafting Marvin Harrison if he falls to
Yeah,
them. They're gonna take him.
they
Get
said they're keeping
Kyler.
Kyler. They said they're gonna
Yeah,
keep Kyler.
they should. They should. I think Kyler should be. I mean, granted, he's getting paid a lot. Most of us wouldn't, go up and restructure, but I think they should find a way to tweak his contract a little bit because he's getting paid a lot of money. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
That,
He
after
wants his
that,
money.
that study clause in his contract, he's gonna keep fighting everything. So I won't even.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let that sit. We're
But
just
I
waiting on
mean,
the right now. We're just waiting on the Bears. Speaking of quarterbacks, waiting on the Bears to decide on Justin Fields. Honestly,
that's gonna be interesting because I've been reading stuff. So they're keeping Eberflus, which is kind of shaky. But I mean, Fields for I mean, they finished 8 and or no 7-10. I think is what they finished as. But I mean, if you look at their team, I mean, they're not like a horrible team, and Fields is a good quarterback, I think. I mean, he's improved every year by a small margin. But the thing is, the problem is, if you take a quarterback, it's gonna reset back to, guys got to learn the system, and they're probably gonna take Caleb Williams, and I don't know about Caleb, especially after those comments he made about him wanting ownership in the team. That's pretty ridiculous. That's insane.
yeah, they're in a win-win situation though. Like worst
Yeah,
scenario, they trade the pick, get more draft picks back. You know,
or
they're
they
in a win-win
could,
situation. It's not
right?
bad.
Well, and I mean, if they drop their quarterback, obviously Fields is going to get traded. And so, and I mean, on the bright side, I mean, if they do draft a quarterback, it resets the contract too, because Fields' contract will be due this coming up season. He signed a 5-year deal, so his
Yeah,
contract will be due this coming up year. So we'll just have to see. I mean, there's a lot of teams that being because I mean, the only quarterbacks that were supposed to go first round were May and Caleb, but with Daniels winning the Heisman, Penix going
McCaffrey,
on
Penix, and then McCaffrey,
Penix
yeah, winning.
i- going on the run that they did is crazy. So I mean, all four of those guys can probably go top 10. I'm just hoping the Raiders could get one of them. I don't. I don't want Penix not because he's bad, because of his age. But the other three I'm cool with. The other three I'm cool with. But yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, we'll just have to see what the Bears do with Fields and Ron Rivera's out. I mean, I could see them upgrading the enemy because I think the enemy deserves a fair shot. He hasn't gotten his yet.
Yeah,
Or
he deserves a better shot. His offense is kind of shaky though. You want to pass all the time. You know you don't have a line. You don't run the
no,
ball at all. It's kind of
right.
But
Granted, when he was in KC, they had the line to do that, and obviously the quarterback to do it. So it's a little
yeah,
different. But I mean,
they miss
Sam
him right
Howell's,
now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, oh, for sure, no, for sure. Because I mean, Sam Howell's not bad, but when you're getting hit basically every other play, whether it's a sack or just getting hit, not a good look. Not a good look at all. But I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, they'll be all right too. I mean, there's a lot of coaching opportunities this year for a lot of teams. I mean, should we can name this right now? Titans, Falcons, Raiders, possibly. Um,
Seahawks,
Seahawks. Uh, trying to think. Oh, Chargers. Chargers is a big one. Patriots. Belichick won't
maybe.
be back. I don't think he's gonna be back. Um, trying to think who else. The Jets, no. Trying to think. I mean, those like the big six right there. And then I I mean I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't think Jacksonville's gonna do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they surprisingly fire Peterson. I don't think they're going to, but they could, especially with the fallout they had. But I don't think they will though.
I don't think they will either, but that was a really bad collapse. Like they had
Yeah.
everything. They fired all defensive side coordinators and everything.
Mm.
So defensive side got fired, which I don't think that should have been the case.
T-Law getting hurt kind of set them back too, but even when he came back, something was off with their team. Like really off. But I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, they were one game from making playoffs, but at the same time, I mean, they were the number one. They were 8-3 at the one seed at one point and finished 9-8. That's not good at all. That's pretty bad. But they'll be all right. But I mean, like we said, playoffs is here. A lot of teams are already looking at coaches. I mean, shoot, I've been seeing stuff. There's teams looking at free agency already. I'm like, geez, man, it's freaking crazy. I mean, shoot, the day after the season ended, I saw a mock draft for like the first 18 picks. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like we haven't
Hey,
even
people gotta
played.
work now, bro. Everybody gotta
Hey,
work.
yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, I mean, this this playoff bracket's really weird because especially in the NFC, there's a lot of like storyline games. There's obviously, I mean, the biggest one being the Rams and the Lions. And the fact that the Rams made the playoffs is even crazier. And the fact that they're playing the Lions is even wilder. Because I mean, for Stafford, it's not really a revenge game. It's more of a like welcome home, but we're still going to try to beat you. It's more of a revenge game for Goff because the Rams gave up on him, and obviously, they picked up Stafford to replace him. So we gonna see. I think I'm not gonna lie. I think the Rams will upset them though.
It's like poetic justice, dog.
What happened?
It's poetic justice.
But yeah,
Matthew
for them.
Stafford couldn't take him there, and then he leaves, and then Jared Goff took him there.
Yep, pretty much. Well, I mean, and Jared Goff couldn't take the Rams there, and then Stafford
Yep.
did. So it's like,
Yep.
yeah, pretty much. Granted, only one of them has a ring though, so far. So far. Then I was saying, I think, no, I'm gonna be honest. I think whoever wins that game will be in the NFC Championship game. It's a bold take. It's a bold take. Because look, so the Niners obviously will most likely be there if they stay healthy. The the Cowboys will find a way to sell. I'm not gonna lie, they might lose to the Packers too. But anyways, they might sell. Philly, I don't know what the hell's going on with Philly. And with the Bucks, you don't know which Baker you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get the Baker that throws for, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, and throws like 2 incompletions, or the one that just sells the game. You don't know which one you're gonna get.
He was
So
limping last game. He was limping last game, so I don't know if he's gonna be good this
good.
week.
He kind of has to play. Who's their backup? I don't know who their backup is.
Kyle Trask. Trask.
Oh, that's so Trask. Okay,
Yeah.
he hasn't played yet either.
Nah. Yeah,
So
he's hurt, so I don't know.
yeah, it's scary. But I mean, with the Lions game, like I said, I think whoever wins that game will see Frisco. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was looking at it, I mean, the Lions, oh yeah, we didn't even have a chance to talk about this. Because the Lions almost beat the Cowboys off some BS. Those last like 3 plays were actually ridiculous. I was watching that game live and I was like, what is going on? So I mean, they almost beat Dallas. Philly, I don't know what the hell. I mean, Philly's basically the Steelers 2020 all over again, basically, with how they started off, basically undefeated, and then they lost, and then they couldn't win the rest of the season. Tampa's Tampa, like I said, you don't know which Baker, and then Dallas will find a way to blow it.
Okay.
So
Now they're gonna win this. They're gonna win this week. Next week they gotta lose.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
well, because they're the 2 seed, so they'll play the second lowest seed. So, and then the Niners will play the Packers win, they'll play the Packers, which is kind of weird because it seems like the Niners and Packers have played in the playoffs the last like 4 years.
Yep. They got Aaron Rodgers this time, so
Nope. But even with A-Rod, they still lost. Granted, the last time the Cowboys played the Packers in the playoffs, A-Rod went on a tear and decided to go Super Bowl mode and beat them when the Cowboys were the 1 seed with rookies Zeke and Dak. That was like 8 years ago. That is crazy to think about. That is insane. But anyways, I mean, yeah, I mean this playoffs is pretty damn interesting. I mean, so even when you look at the AFC, I mean, if the Browns win, well, the script people are saying that they're gonna pair a Browns Ravens AFC championship so Flacco can go home and do his thing. So
probably right. It looks sounds pretty good to me.
I think the Browns could go, and it's funny because they're the only team that could beat Baltimore too, which is a scary thing. It's the only team that could beat them. Because I mean, KC plays the Dolphins in KC. I think KC. Oh, I don't know. Because KC's
Stop.
off.
The Dolphins proved to you they're frauds. Stop
Oh
overthinking it.
no 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 no
They
no no no.
sold so many times.
Yeah, it's true. Tua does play really. Like we said, Tua is bad against good defenses, but it's because the Chiefs' offense is horrible. But it's not
I
really. It's,
understand that, but I feel like their defense is gonna step up, and I feel like it's gonna be snowing too.
yeah, the
And it's
Dolphins
a
are.
Florida team.
Yeah,
Tua's from Hawaii. Like
yeah.
he went to Alabama, no snow.
No
Like I
snow.
don't know how that's
Yeah,
gonna work.
yeah, yeah. That weather's gonna cruise them. Well, that's why the Bills and Dolphins game was such a big deal because the Dolphins would have had home field, for at least 2 games, if they would have, or two if they would have won. But now they got to go on the road, and I think all the AFC teams are, I think they're cold weather teams. Cleveland, KC, Buffalo. Is Baltimore outdoors?
Yeah,
Their
it's outdoors.
stadium's outdoors, right? Yeah, geez, yeah, those are all cold states. And then there's one more. I'm losing. Oh, Steelers, Pittsburgh,
Outdoors.
outdoors. They're all so Miami's the only team that's not built to play in that weather. All the other teams play in that.
Yeah, the only person to have a dome is Titans. The
Giants.
only dome. And this is the warmest state too, which is crazy.
Yeah. So well, we got to see. We got to see. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think Cleveland because Cleveland. Oh, plays Houston first round. That should be interesting because CJ Stroud plays good, but I think they're going to lose that game just because they're inexperienced. I mean, the Browns are kind of inexperienced too, besides Flacco. We go see. We go see. I
Yeah,
mean, I wouldn't.
they got a lot of bets on the Browns. They'd be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Houston put on a show though, but they probably won't win though.
No.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, at least they get to host a playoff game with a rookie quarterback. That's pretty damn cool. But we go see. I mean, if CJ Stroud wins that game, that's gonna be crazy. But then, because Houston's what the 3 or the 4 seed. Because the 2 seeds, but 1 seeds, Ravens,
They'll
Buffalo.
be the fourth seed because they have the worst record.
That's right. They
As
play
the
Cleveland.
division winners,
Yeah,
they probably
that's
the
right.
worst team.
Cleveland's the 5 seed. Yes, yeah. So they'll play that. I mean, so this is like probably like this playoff bracket. Looking at it, like this is the one year that we could say like the number 1 seed is actually like the number 1 seed because all the teams have like so many weaknesses and stuff that you can expose and stuff. Because in other years, like last year, for example, the Niners were a pretty damn good team. So says the cat, huh?
You could have kept going. You could have done like a solo. Oh,
Oh, it's just my fault. Nah, so I mean, yeah, this is like the one year where we can say the number 1 seed is actually the number 1 seed because all the teams have Because you could look at every team that's not the one seed and be like, they have a weakness. So, but we'll see about your color thing or the color thing that G sent. We'll see. We'll see. Because it could be Niners and Ravens again. It could be that too. But I feel like someone's gonna get really hurt this playoffs for one of the teams, and it's gonna destroy their chances. I mean, knowing the Niners, it's gonna be a quarterback. Knowing the Ravens, it's gonna be Lamar. So
I think it'd be fine this year. And plus, I got Sam Darnold. Well, I mean, it's backup for the 49ers anyway. He's
I mean,
not that terrible.
he's not as bad as people said. He was just throwing. Dude, he had added. Didn't he have Gase as his coach or like his OC or something when he was drafted?
The Jets? I don't remember back
I think he
then. I
did.
think
I
I
think he
think so.
did because then Gase went to go coach or I think Gase coached the Dolphins, but before that was horrible. And then the Jets
Yeah,
brought him in
he
as
was Dolphins.
OC,
Yeah,
and then he brought him in as an OC, and then it did not go well. So I mean, we go see. I mean, playoffs are here. I mean, we can't really say nothing until we see it, and that's when we'll actually know. And then that carries it to the off season with all the other questions, with all the coaches, like we're talking about. So now that we have the foundation for how we think playoffs gonna go, once the season's over, as we talked about the beginning, with the coaches, there's a lot of candidates, like a lot, like even the biggest the biggest one not even being an NFL coach. It's Harbaugh possibly coming back. And people are saying the Raiders or the Chargers, which makes sense. I mean, you got Variable, Pierce. Pierce is a big one too, I've been hearing, which I don't know. I can't see him coaching anywhere else. The Raiders will be kind of stupid to get rid of him, I think. That'd be pretty dumb to get rid of him. But that's just me though.
yeah. I mean, the players love him. And people talk really highly about him, so I don't think he's leaving. Harbaugh, on the other hand, I don't know if he's leaving or not. Like, I know his track is pretty high right now, and obviously he
Right.
won Michigan,
Yeah.
but like, because he's Harbaugh's been in the NFL before,
Yeah,
and it
right.
worked to a point.
Right.
Like, because 49ers people got tired of him because they said he has like a ego or whatever, and that's
Mm,
why a lot of people don't. That's why he went to college.
got you.
That's why they're so quick to fire him in 49ers. They're still good. They
Right.
just quit to fire him because of that.
Right, because his ego. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know who, like, other than his brother. His brother's humble. Other than him, I don't know who's gonna really want to try to get
I
him
mean,
based on the coaching openings now.
I think the Chargers will, as much as I hate to say this, because you obviously know I'm a Raider fan, and I do not want them coming to the AFC West. But from a football fan standpoint, I mean, I think the right place for him to go would be the Chargers. But I've been hearing stuff. I mean, if they get a new coach, they might just blow it all up and trade everyone. Which the Chargers, that'd probably be the best idea. Because I mean, yeah, you have a really talented quarterback, but at the same time, you got a bunch of old guys that are on really like bad contracts, like horrible contracts for their age.
Yeah,
And
the receivers always getting hurt.
mhm,
Always Keenan Allen always hurt.
and he's on a big contract, and so is Mike Williams. Eckler's on a big deal. Herbert's gonna get a huge deal. Oh, he already got his deal actually. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he,
like so yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it would suck to trade him, but they would get a lot of picks for him. They would at least get two first rounders at the bare minimum, at least two.
for
They
Herbert.
would, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's as tall as a statue and he can move and has God-given arm talent. I mean, you can't teach that, and that's something a lot of teams would die to have. It just sucks because similar to what McDaniels did, Staley did, and kind of ruined the team with a good roster. Just injuries too. That doesn't help either.
yeah. So what they
So
need to do is get a defensive minded head coach because that defense was god awful. Honestly, if they had like an average defense, that team would be okay. Brandon Staley was a defensive coach,
the
but
coach, right?
supposedly like Arthur Smith was an offensive coach and an offense sucked. I mean, I don't see how that took a step back. So honestly, that's probably the route they're going to probably go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that makes sense to get someone to. Well, I honestly mean, because they have Kellen Moore now, don't they? I
Yeah,
mean, he's a good OC, but I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, just injuries and just probably Brandon Staley he honestly probably just ruined the atmosphere. Similar to McDaniels, he just killed it. Because I mean, there are defensive minded head coaches on really good teams like the Texans.
Yeah,
D'Amico's defense, but you know what's crazy? I found their offensive coordinator is a rookie offensive coordinator. He's never called plays in the NFL. It's his first year, but he obviously knows what he's doing. I mean, he took a he helped take CJ Stroud to basically a top five quarterback this year, just like that.
yeah.
So
He
I
said
mean,
coaching's not important. This is why coaching is really important. That's why
yeah,
I was Zach Wilson when he got this. Like all the quarterbacks that gave up too early, like they're trying to give him Justin Fields now. If he had this coaching, his coaching, not even the coaching's still bad, but if he has more freedom now, that's why he's excelling now.
right. Because I mean, it takes time too. Because I mean, the problem is now too, as compared to back then, people draft quarterbacks now to be like CJ Stroud, basically. What like CJ Stroud's doing, that's what they expect him to do instantly. But if you look at players like Peyton Manning, perfect example. He threw so was it like 22 picks his first year. It
Yeah,
was some
19,
like
like 20, like that.
it was some like ridiculous number, and he's debatably, I mean, statistically behind Brady, like right behind Brady. So it's like being, I mean, I get it. You want to win now, but it takes time. It's the same with coaches too. You got to give a coach. I think at least 3 seasons to see improvement every year. So after the third season, I think you got to let him go.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the NFL, dude. Everything's like this. I need this now, 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 now. It doesn't
Right.
work like that,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Yeah. I mean, because like usually when you hire a new coach outside of the Raiders situation, usually when a new coach is hired, that means the team is bad. And usually, and they trade everyone and they rebuild so the new coach can, build the roster up basically. And it's gonna take at least at minimum 2 years. The Texans got really lucky that CJ
lucky.
Stroud's really good and their scouting department's really good. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, but they're very fortunate to have a rookie quarterback with these young receivers and a good coach to, guide that team and, make the playoffs and host the playoff game your rookie year. As, like teams like because who are the rookie quarterbacks this year? I'm like, well, actually there's a bunch. But the main one being CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. I
Bryce
mean,
Young.
being Bryce Young's in a really bad situation. That team's all over the place.
Yeah, his GM's not making. Sorry, the owner's not making it better for him. Tapper, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
That
that guy's
man.
said every time I see the Panthers community, it's just the fans talking shit about him. It's hilarious.
He got
And
fined for
then
spilling drinks on somebody. I
yeah,
forgot, like one of the 2017. Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah, I saw that. So I mean, it takes time because like we seen that game that Bryce Young had against the Packers a couple weeks ago when he was throwing dots. Like he's good. He just they don't have the team for him yet, and
Yeah,
they had the
and that's
defense.
what ruined Andrew Luck. He was
Yeah,
good. They didn't have the team ready for him, and then Andrew Luck just
I mean, he would still be the quarterback probably right now. I mean, it's only would have been his like 11th year in the league. So I mean, he would have been like 30, probably like 33 ish. I mean, shoot, he came back from what was it like 28 points his first like
yeah,
playoff appearance against the
against the
Chiefs,
Chiefs. Yeah,
against the Chiefs in 2013 or whatever it was. I mean, that guy was ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it takes time because I mean, like with the Raiders coaches, I mean, perfect example. So when they drafted Carr, they had Dennis Allen his first year. They fired him because he's a defensive minded head coach. So they brought in Del Rio. They brought in who's the OC? Was it? I think it was Bill Musgrave, if I'm not mistaken. And the first year with Del Rio, they went 4-12. They actually beat the Chiefs that year. The second year they went 7-9. The third year is when they went 12-4, but Carr broke his foot. And then the year after that, they went 6-10. They were supposed to be like a really good team, but they went 6-10. So they fired him. And then that's when Gruden got brought in, and then it restarted. We went 4-12, 7-9, 8-8, playoffs, and then McDaniels came in, like really destroyed it. So it's just like so long story short, it takes time. I mean, I think the main thing you got to build through is the draft for sure. And for a lot of teams, this is the draft to build it in, for sure. Because the top, like, I'd say, like, 15 picks, it's very high upside. A lot of receivers and quarterbacks this draft, for sure. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. So someone's gonna mess up a pick. It happens every year. Happens every year. Someone's gonna fall to where they shouldn't have fallen to, and they're gonna go to like a really good team, and that team's gonna win the Super Bowl probably. So
Yeah, I know one thing this year taught me is it's not a lot of good coaches in the NFL. Like 100%. This year 100% taught me that.
yeah, I mean, and a lot of them are young and still learning too. That's another thing. But there are some really bad coaches that I'm like, dude, like, how are you? Like your coach. How is Dennis Allen still a coach? How did McDaniels make it through 8 weeks? So how did Staley make it through 14? How
Canada.
did oh yeah, being dude, I mean they should have fired him after Pickett called the audible and then won the game and he just like he didn't look happy like at all. Like that was like you're not even gonna celebrate with your team and stuff, man. Like come on. But also there's some coaches where like that's some really good coaches like Tomlin, how they made the playoffs, I have no clue. Um we just talked about D'Amico. The Colts coach is young and good. Nick Vay's a good coach. I mean, with that, I mean, the roster's not bad. Looking at it now, it's not bad. But like we were talking about it before the season, like the Rams are going to be a shit show, and they proved everyone wrong.
Yeah.
So
But all the salary cap held her in too. They proved it wrong.
they drafted really smart. Especially, it's crazy too because no first round pick still, and they were able to draft guys later. Most of those later guys they drafted, they're all starters too, and they're all
Yeah.
good too. I know they have a rookie D lineman that's like really, really good. And then Puka, obviously. Puka just broke all the rookie records. So, but I mean, it'll come like that and people will drop and teams will trade and we'll just see when it happens and the main person I'm looking to see is where all the quarterbacks go and where Marvin Harrison goes because the Bears have the first pick. Don't the who's the second pick? It's the Patriots, right?
Pat
I think it
Commanders. Commanders.
it might be the Commanders.
I think Commanders then Pats.
Pats. So I'm interested to see what the Pats do because it all depends on if Belichick's their coach still. And knowing Belichick, he'll take some like guy up out of some small school that no one's ever heard of and turn him into a superstar.
Who, Belichick?
Yeah. So I remember one year they took like a fourth round guard in the first round. I was like, and freaking McVay was like, we were looking at that guy in the fourth round. I was like, okay, but
Yeah.
Bel it's like Belichick's really old school, but I mean, if he is the coach, I hope he learned his lesson now. Hope he learned his lesson now.
He
But
needs
they
less power. He just needs to stick to coaching. His drafting skills are terrible. His personnel skills are terrible.
he's just too old school. Too
Yeah.
old school. Which is, I mean, it got him what seven rings, six rings, six right,
Brady got
six.
Brady got on
Brady
that.
got him. I mean, yeah.
Brady got
Didn't he win some on the Giants too when he was the DC with Parcells too?
I don't know about that one, but still, that still wasn't him.
That was Parcells. It's
Marcel, yeah,
Belichick.
that's a good coach right there.
It's Parcells.
Yeah.
Being Pete Belichick is still one of the best coaches ever. Come on.
I mean, record wise, yeah, but I mean, like, okay, listen, Nick Saban, right? If Nick Saban didn't get all those D1 recruits,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and he didn't work in the NFL like at all.
5-star recruits, Nick Saban, and yeah,
And and I know what's funny. One of them left the school already, like an hour after he said he was retiring. That man went
yeah,
in the transfer portal instantly. He said, "I'm gone." So yeah, there's that too. I mean, dude, I mean that 2020 team was absolutely ridiculous. Being the receiving core, it was literally Jalen Waddle, Ruggs, Smith, and Judy all in one receiver room. Like that's and then there was one team where I said I remember at one point Jacobs, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara were all in one running back room together. Like that's out of control. And then Tua, Mac, and Jalen. Like
yeah.
yo. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. It could be that too. I mean, but he is a good coach. You can't lie. I mean,
We have to see. He hasn't been. So Mike Vrabel, right? He has
mhm.
Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel. They had no talent at all, but their team consistently been
Competes.
performing,
Right.
consistently
Right.
work
Competes.
like running through walls through him and stuff like that. Pete Carroll didn't really have really anything. He has Legion of Boom. Yeah, rookie quarterback. He's looking at winning record with Russell Wilson.
Hmm.
Second year Super Bowl. You know what I'm
Super
saying?
Bowl.
Like that's a
And then
good
third
coach.
year. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. Josh McDaniels, Brandon Staley. No, I'm playing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the
He
two worst
had like
coach.
what? How many all pros on his defense? And look at that. Nothing. Brandon
Yeah.
Staley.
Yeah.
Yeah, one, two, three,
Derwin.
four.
Derwin's the bit to be the best safety in the league. J.C. Jackson just fell off planet Earth. Bosa's good. Mac's still pretty good. Kendricks. Oh my. Asante. That's like
Yeah,
six like borderline Pro Bowlers. Besides Derwin. Derwin's probably first team All Pro. So
yeah.
yeah, that's bad. And then Josh Josh McDaniels had Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. Man, what the hell?
And he traded Darren Waller because
He
they
didn't invite
didn't
him
like
to the
each other.
wedding. I
Yeah,
know they
they
didn't
didn't
get
like each
along.
other.
They didn't like each
Yeah.
other.
Still, I'm not trading my best player because I don't like him. That's what Bill O'Brien did to DeAndre Hopkins. That was dumb. I don't
Yeah,
like you. Get out of here.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
Chip
weird.
Kelly did that to the Eagles. Remember?
Hmm.
He and like Deshaun Jackson or Shady McCoy shipped them
Hmm.
off and like, what are you doing? Lost the locker room. Got fired.
Yeah, that ruined the team. And that's what McDaniels did when he got to Denver too. They were like a borderline playoff team, and he traded everything for Tebow. He traded everything for freaking Tebow. And then I mean honestly, like looking back now, like with McDaniels, outside of the Tyree Wilson pick, because we should have drafted Jalen Carter. Tyree Wilson's not bad, but Jalen Carter was the pick there. We actually drafted pretty good. He just didn't know how to coach anybody.
You think that was him or the GM?
That was
I'm
him.
pretty sure
That was him. That was
he made
him.
all the picks.
There's literally a statement that said literally McDaniels had the last say for like free agency. Free agency. Dude, you didn't see the CJ Stroud report?
No.
So the Raiders GM wanted to trade up and do whatever it took to get him, but McDaniel said no because he was sold on Jimmy G. That's
Well,
when I
to be fair, he's seen him before in a lot of practices and da da da.
when I read that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is why we're never gonna win a ring when I'm alive. I'm gonna be dead and they're gonna win one. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad we didn't because that would have been his. No, 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 no. Listen, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Because if we had a rookie quarterback, he definitely would have struggled with McDaniels. Maybe we'll never know, but that would have been McDaniels' excuse if he wasn't doing good. That would have been like, oh, he's a rookie. Give me time. So I'm kind of glad we didn't, but also sucks because this man's over here, you know, playing like a top five quarterback. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, we get our guy this year. So hopefully, but like I said, I mean, yeah, I mean, coaches either completely ruin your franchise or they win you a Super Bowl. Basically, it's one or the other.
Yeah, they make your team hate, make your team don't want to play, or make your
Yeah,
team run through walls for them.
and that's what Pearson. That's really what Variable and Pierce do. Those two coaches and Dan Campbell too.
Yeah, and then
Dan
Belichick
Campbell's.
makes you force you
I
to
mean,
play for him.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say he forces you to run through the wall.
Hey,
He
Gronk
doesn't.
was happy.
Gronk
Gronk was the
probably.
only one smiling.
Yeah, I'll say Gronk. Yeah, Gronk willingly did that. That's why he has CTE now. But how him and Antonio Brown played on the same team for a week is insane. Him and Belichick. I know there had to be a fight or something between those two. There had to be something for sure. Because that man scored a touchdown against Miami and then got cut the next week. And then
Yeah,
waited a year, signed with Brady, got a ring, and the year after took off all of his clothes and now he's making
walked off.
walked off. Now he's making songs. It's kind of
He's
funny
doing
why he.
streaming too. He's doing kick streams.
Oh, he's on kick. Okay. It's kind of funny how he why he got mad too. The whole money. not getting the bonus thing.
Yeah.
I think he was more mad because Brady gave it to Gronk, and then he didn't want to do it for Antonio. Like, bro, he won. How many rings did he win with Gronk? Four, something like that. I think four. Seahawks, Rams,
Us.
Chiefs,
Falcons
Chiefs,
won.
and Falcons. Yeah, yeah, four,
Yeah.
four, four. Because Brady lost to the Giants twice,
Yeah.
beat the Panthers, beat the Rams,
Lost to the Eagles.
lost the Eagles, and beat the Chiefs. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, man, as and speaking of coaches getting fired, this is the kind of starting similar to what we said about the quarterbacks and like like all the skill, like all the new guys, new generation coming in. Now the coaches are starting to kind of come in because I mean the last of the old coaches, like outside of Harbaugh, I mean Belichick's probably gone. Sean Payne could be out the door, possibly, possibly. I don't think he will though. I think they'll give him another year to help the team out. Um, Pete Carroll may never coach again. Um, trying to think who else. Oh, Reed's older, not too old though, but he's actually a good coach though. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
He actually evolved to the game the way it's playing now. The rest of them wanted to do what the hell they wanted to do, and it wasn't working no more. Because it seems like every week he's doing some BS play that's unstoppable, and then Kadarius Tony drops it, and then Kadarius Tony drops it. Pretty much. So we gonna see. I mean, there's always a coaching carousel. It seems like every year someone, it's just what it is, and then they'll be fired by next year. That happens too. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's just bad though, because that ruins your drafting too. Because if a coach drafted people from his scheme and then he gets
hmm
fired, another coach comes in, a different scheme. What are you gonna do with the players you just drafted? Like,
Yep. Well, I mean, that's exactly what happened with the Raiders. I mean, their situation's a little different because Gruden was obviously he quit because of the stuff he said. It's not like they wanted to fire him, but like after that year was over and they didn't bring the first interim back. So the Raiders defense at the time, they were fit to run a 4-3. But when McDaniels came, Patrick Graham was the Giants defensive coordinator. They were in a 3-4. So when we had him last year, that defense struggled because they Max Crosby was still really good last year, but they had him playing linebacker too, like in coverage. I was like, why is he in coverage? He's not a coverage guy. And then this year they kind of readjusted things and we became a top 10. We pretty much became like a top like 10 defense like the last half of the season after we fired him because the coaches were able to do what they wanted instead of being held by the throat and and probably threatening to get fired if they didn't follow his rules. So hopefully they get the decision right because I'm sick of this.
yeah.
I'm getting tired of this. I mean, because like every year, especially like the last like 4 years, the Raiders have a good team on paper. We so we've always had a pretty damn good offense. The defense has pieces, but it never works because of the coaching. So we're going to have to see. We're going to see. I feel like this is like I said, a deep draft. Um, people make trades all the time too, in and after, before, during, and after the draft. So it's just a matter of what you give up and how much you get for it too, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's on the Bears though. I say, but as soon as the Bears make the decision, everything probably would be a lot go down the totem pole.
just be
You know?
smart and try to get as much as you can again. I mean, they fleeced the shit out of the Panthers last year. They fleeced the shit out of them last year. So if they can do that again, and I could see a team like I don't think like who's in that top 10 list that would get desperate. I mean, see the Commanders. I would say the Commanders, but they're already picking three, so I think they're cool there. Cardinals will be fine. Uh, Titans if they get a new coach because they're probably gonna want to because now they're gonna have a new coach. Ryan Tannehill, Malik,
They
and Will
can't.
Levis.
They can't. They did to pay Daniel Jones all that money.
No. Titans.
Oh, we said Giants. The Giants can't
Titans.
do that. They paid him all that money. You didn't
No.
know? So Cardinals said they're sticking with Murray. Giants said they're
Mm,
sticking with Jones.
stupid.
So after, so it goes Bears. I don't know what they're gonna do. Commanders. I don't know why they're not giving Sam Howell another chance. Like he wasn't bad. His line wasn't non-existent, and he was throwing in yards. Like
Yeah. And Patriots, that's what the hell are they gonna do? We don't even they have
yeah,
so much wrong. They have so much wrong with their team. The only position that's good is Christian Gonzalez. It's not even a position, it's a player.
yeah.
And Matthew
They have
Judon.
no
And
offensive
Judon's good too.
coordinator, no offensive weapons.
Well, well, they have an ex-head coach that traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson in a fifth round pick, and he's not even an offensive minded coach. He's a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays.
Yeah,
That's insane. Like, man just really said, screw it. So if it was college, it'd be a little different because college ball's not the same as the NFL. But this isn't college; it's the freaking NFL. So, but I mean, like I said, coaching carousel, free agency, draft, people wanting out for contracts, the franchise tag BS. Someone gets tagged like, oh, I don't want to play on the tag. I'm trying to get a long-term deal.
yeah.
Which will be Saquon. That's gonna be Saquon again.
And
He's
Eckler too. Eckler didn't sign a deal.
Yeah, and Jacobs, I don't know, kind of, he's been hurt, so he's probably gonna have to take a pay cut, or they're gonna let him walk, and he's gonna try to get a payday somewhere else. What I want to
That's a
since you're a Falcons fan, this has nothing to do with free agency, nothing. What do you think of that last play that Jameis did? The
personal. I
whole
mean,
the whole victory formation and give the ball to Jamal.
as a fan, I don't care. Actually, thank him because guess what? They probably got Arthur Smith fired. Gave us the eighth pick. You know what I'm saying? Got the eighth pick. It was a win-win for me. I didn't feel bad. We are gonna lose anyway. We got a good because if we won, we would have like 12 or 13 pick.
Okay,
Nah.
gotcha.
So if we were gonna lose out. 18 pick, get a new coach. The only bad thing about that play is he totally showed Dennis Allen's ass, like saying like he made himself look an ass and made Dennis Allen look stupid too.
Well,
That's what he
no,
did.
but but Jameis said Dennis had nothing to do with it.
That's the point. You
Oh,
can't
okay,
just. He's like,
gotcha.
oh, I don't have to listen. He said, oh yeah, he told me to do this, but I just decided to make my own decision. Ask everybody else what they want to do. I'm like, what the fuck? You can't do that. You're not the.
Well,
You're a
they
backup
wanted.
quarterback, dog.
Well, no, you know why they did it though, right?
I know. Yeah.
Because Jamal, he broke the freaking record last year, and that he didn't score a touchdown all year, so they wanted to get him at least one. That's why they did it. But
That is no incentive. No incentive of that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's so
yeah.
stupid.
Well, I
Because now you
well,
just
well, I
made your
mean,
coach look stupid.
I did. Said I'm not gonna lie. I said I did start him in fantasy, so I
Who
had to
Jamal?
because Kamara was out. Dude, my running backs. Man, so McCaffrey sat, Kamara sat, and I had to start. Dude, I had to start Tyler freaking Algier. It was horror. It was a horrid week, and it was horrid. And guess what? I lost because of Tua throwing the pick. I somehow my team competed. I don't know how, but Tua decided to throw that shit in double coverage, lost me. But anyways, that's besides the point. Um, yeah, I mean they could have a new coach next year too. Shoot,
Who?
The Saints.
Nah, they said he's
But
safer. They said he was safe,
but
and
him and
they said what's his face coming? Gruden's gonna come in,
for Carmichael probably.
and because Dark Carr wanted him to come in too.
I mean, those were Carr's best years. Well, stats wise, he was throwing about 30 touchdowns a year, 4,000 plus yards. I mean, wouldn't mind to see him coaching him again. I mean, kind of sucks because he should still be our coach, but at the same time, we might get a better coach now. So we will see. But I mean, long story short, season's done now, pretty much for most teams besides the teams in the playoffs, and then the draft is where that's where your money's made. Basically, your future, whatever you get, will determine your fate if they're good or not. And usually I mean, if you don't hit on your later picks, it's whatever. I mean, but with first, second, and some third rounders, you have to hit on. Have to.
Yeah,
Because if you don't, it sets you back another year. I'm just tired of seeing teams outside of Bijan, Saquon, So outside of those two and Josh Jacobs, those three running backs, you should not be taking running backs in the first round. That's
Especially
like
yeah, especially
that's
this year too. Yeah, it's a lot of good running backs. Like even in free agency, still probably good running backs. Like still
mhm.
give some yards, give them opportunity.
Being shoot. I mean, Eckler's probably gonna be a free agent. Jacobs is gonna be free. Saquon's definitely gonna be free agent. He's not signing that tag. He's not signing that tag.
Yeah,
Um,
Henry.
Henry, Henry's dude. I've been hearing he's gonna go to Dallas or Baltimore. I was like, dude, if he goes to Baltimore, it's over for the league. Just give him the trophy. That man's
Nah, he's
gonna.
probably gonna get hurt over there. They have a bad running back curse over there.
Oh yeah. Keenan Mitchell's torn ACL was bad. That was bad. His knee like completely bent backwards.
Yeah, Dobbs always
Dobbs.
every
Oh
year.
yeah,
Dobbs.
Dobbins. Yeah, yeah. He tore the same Achilles too. He tore last year, I think, too, which sucks. Yeah, that's horrible. And then Justice Hill's like always hurt. So I always forget he plays for them, and then I see him like, oh my God, he's back. So I mean,